Good morning, students. I'm Harshita More. Welcome you all in the fifth video lecture for the subset Organizational Behavior, Unit 2. So, Unit 2 is all about individual behavior. We have studied different aspects of this particular individual behavior. One of the student have suggested me to talk to reduce the speed of my talking a bit slowly. So I just respect your suggestion, and I just try to reduce the speed of my talking so that you will be understanding whatever I am teaching in a more better way. So we have already discussed in this, we have discussed various aspects of individual behavior, and we have also studied two important theories of personality, where we have studied for Big Five model theory, and in yesterday's class we have studied Erikson theory. So these are the two important theories which we have studied in previous class. In today's class, we'll be dealing with next important theory of personality. So, name of that particular theory is psychoanalytical theory of personality. What does it mean, or what this theory includes, and who has invented this particular theory? This theory has been given by Sigmund Freud, and this theory explains that a human behavior is a result of interaction of three important components such as inner desire, ego, and superego. So this theory focuses on this particular three aspects. Okay, so next is we have a definition of this particular theory. So Sigmund Freud says that the early 5 years of 5 years of life of every child is very important, because at this age children start imitating their parents, their relatives, their family members. They start learning good habits. They start learning how to talk. They start learning their mother tongue in between this stage of life. So this stage is very important while building a personality. Next is, what are the different components of this particular personality? What are the different components of this particular psychoanalytical theory? So it includes this theory includes first is ID. What is ID? ID is inner desire. So it is a situation where some of the human beings just focus on what they want. Many of us are belongs to this particular category where we keep fighting for the things that we want. So the best, I just like to give an example for this, but before that, one more thing I have forgot to tell you is this particular ID, that is inner desire, is based on pleasure principle. It is based on pleasure principle. So what does it mean? It means the human beings are more focusing on their own needs, on their own desires. So that is what a pleasure principle. I would like to give an example for this. um, this inner desire can be in a two way, that is inner positive and negative. How it will be a positive inner desire? I'll give example of UPSC aspirants. So they are very strict to their study. They 16 to 18 hours they used to study a whole day, and they just want to try to clear their rank in the form of UPS, in the form of IS, IRS, and IPS. They want to they have just some goal in their life. But when it comes to a negative inner desire, it can be some of the students. I'll give example. Many of us fight with our parents that I want a new bike. So even though they are aware of financial position of their family, they are fighting with their parents, and this can be treated as a negative inner desire. So next we have is a ego. When this particular term we continuously use in our daily life, ego is a pride. It can be pride of anything. So ego, this particular ego is based on reality principle. So where a person is aware of reality, he is ready to accept what is going to happen with him. See, for example, there are many people in our group or in our friend circle who are very understanding. They are very understanding, they are very supportive, they are very adjustable kind of a people, and because they are aware of reality, they know that this is gonna happen and this won't get happen. So some of us are very stick to reality. They are aware of it and they're ready to accept the change, but some of us are, they would like to live in a fairy tale. They want to live in their imaginary world, so that may not be possible to happen with them, right? So that is what a ego part of it. Next is, I have a super ego. What does it include? What is super ego? So this is based on perfection. This is particularly based on perfection principle. So superego includes values or a morals of society which we learned by our parents or by imitating our family members. So there are two different parts of superego, which include, first one as the ego idol. First one is ego idol. So ego idol and the conscience, what does it mean? Well, see, ego idol means what? These are the certain behavior, these are the certain qualities, those are acceptable by our parents, by the society. For example, in our family, our parents always used to tell us that try to speak truth, try to be loyal towards your work, try to be loyal towards your ambition, your studies. And so after listening to parents, students start studying very hard, they start securing good marks, they are focusing on their career. So that can be treated as a ego ideal. When you're talking about the conscience, it includes certain bad qualities which can be these are our parents, our society treats these particular aspects as a bad qualities. What can be those bad qualities? It can be some of the youngsters are more addicted towards different addictions. That can be alcohol, that can be cigarette, that can be drugs. So this is a very bad habits and bad kind of a thing, and it can be so people who are alcoholic or addicted to particular thing, they might be rude in their way. So that is again a part of super ego. Next is, I would like to give an best example for these three category. So what is ID? That is best example for inner desire is, I am very hungry and I want to eat chocolate. So this is what a inner desire. So what is ego in that? See, I would like to understand the situation. See, I have a one chocolate and I have siblings at my home, so I should share that chocolate with my sibling as well. So I'll just eat small part of the chocolate. That is the ego. Next is super ego. Super ego is where I think I'm on a diet and I shouldn't eat that. We think in the mind. So it can be again in a positive way, where just so that other person should eat, we sacrifice our need. And second, in a negative way, it can be you are eating entire chocolate by yourself only. So this is what all about this particular psychoanalytical theory. I hope you have understood about this. So in today's class, I have just briefed it out what we have discussed. We have discussed who have introduced this particular theory, psychoanalytical theory. And then we have also discussed definition. We have discussed three important components of this theory, and we have just studied the examples of this particular theory. So I hope you are understanding the way of my teaching. If any of you are having any kinds of doubts related to whatever topics I am covering, you are free to ask your doubts anytime. So this is enough for today's class. Remaining aspects will be continuing in the next class.